This is your class live review for your essay, A Tragic Hero, about the novel Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. So the first thing that we need to go over are the qualities of tragedy. Now these are laid down by Aristotle, and so keep that in mind. He was talking about Greek tragedies, which are a little different than the kind of tragedies we associate with today, but deep down they're pretty much the same thing. So these are the characteristics and qualities of tragedy. The plot has to be serious and complex. There has to be a reversal of fortune, a sort of fall from grace type thing. The character has to be consistent. He either has to be a good guy the whole time or a bad guy the whole time, but he has to be consistent. And then, what is the speech revealing about this character? What does the character say, and how does that reveal who he is? The diction is also really important to pay attention to. Aristotle noticed that most tragedies have very beautiful and complex language that helps contribute to this theme and sense of tragedy. In Greek plays, there was a part called the chorus, and they would literally have a choir who would sing portions of the play so you would understand what was happening. They would provide a sense of foreboding and that sort of thing. So the question is melody a major part of the story? When we're reading Things Fall Apart, we can almost transfer that reading into the sound of the drums or the chants that the Igbo people do, the chanting or cheering that they do at their meetings, which is a major part of the story. And then, of course, we have spectacle. Is there a lot of visual information? Is there a lot of visual spectacle? When we think about Things Fall Apart, think about the ceremonies, the wrestling, the gardens, the burning of the church. So we're looking for things like spectacle. So when we're evaluating Okonkwo to decide if he is a tragic hero, we have to ask ourselves, is Okonkwo a good guy? At the end of the novel, Obierica gets really ticked off and says, "You killed one of the greatest mans ever in Umofia." So we know how Okonkwo feels, how Obierica feels about Okonkwo. But as the reader, we don't necessarily have to side with Obierica, because he was Okonkwo's best friend, so there might be a little bit of bias there. Does he have a fall from grace? What is Okonkwo's flaw? When reading about tragic heroes, they have this one fatal flaw that will always be their undoing. And so you need to evaluate, does Okonkwo have one? If so, what is it? And is he a consistent character? Does his character change, or is he similar in temperament and mentality throughout the whole novel? So this is how you're going to evaluate if Okonkwo is a tragic hero or not. If you can say yes to all of these things and find examples of them, then Okonkwo would qualify as a tragic hero. If not, he doesn't qualify. So when you're writing your essay, this is going to be a pretty simple 3-paragraph, 300-word essay. Intro should always include the title and author. It's Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart. Put it in your essay at least twice, once in the intro, once in the conclusion. In your introductory paragraph, just include some basic background information. This could include just a basic summary of what the story is about. We know it's Igbo culture. We know they're in the Niger region, and they're being colonized and kind of conquered by Christian missionaries. Now, your body paragraph should evaluate, is Okonkwo a tragic hero, yes or no, and explain why. This goes back to this evaluation. You need to cover these 4 points in your body paragraph and explain each of those carefully and clearly. Now, if you're saying he's not, again, use specific details from the novel to explain why he is not, and be specific. And then have a nice little conclusion paragraph, wrap it up. He's a tragic hero because blah, blah, blah. He's not a tragic hero because blah, blah, blah. That's it. So pretty simple, pretty quick. The part that will probably take the longest is your body paragraph, because you should use evidence and quotes from the novel. So some final thoughts to wrap it up. Use quotes and direct evidence from the text. So if you're going to say Okonkwo's personality changes, you should have an example from him at the beginning of the book and the end of the book that demonstrates clearly that his personality has changed. If you're going to say that Okonkwo has a fall from grace, you need to have specific evidence from the book telling us where. Read and reread your essay after it is finished. Read it out loud, catch any funky hiccups, any odd grammatical errors you might have. Have somebody read it to you. Heck, call me, I'll read it to you, that's fine. And then finally, before you turning in your essay, ask yourself, does my essay prove that I understand the qualities of a tragic hero and that I understand Okonkwo? If your essay isn't clear and specific, it's not demonstrating that you understand Okonkwo. If you don't understand Okonkwo, you're not completing the essay. So make sure that your essay fills all of these parameters. Like I said, it should be quick, pretty short. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be seeing you in class.